to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face.
Should have seen my reflection on the thing there. Never saw that. Hey, whoever's there. How is this Thursday finding anybody? Ever an I Dream of Genie fan, Mark? The reruns? I definitely went through an I Dream of Genie phase. And Barbara Eden, am I right? "14-year-old Dylan was very into that. I was always a Bewitched fan as well, but I like both. On a family vacation to Florida one time, in the hotel we had Nick at Night, which you don't really get in Canada as far as I'm aware anyway, or at least at the time we didn't. And they had a Dueling Darren's Bewitched marathon going on, so I was watching Bewitched almost every night until my mom was finally like, "Hey, you know what? I like Bewitched, but let's take a break from Bewitched." I do have a picture of I Dream of Genie off to the side there for reference, but I'm not really going to go lean too much into that. I got other plans.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
For tonight, I have Genie from I Dream of Genie, but I have many other things. I have a bunch of non-Genie related things that I'm mixing and matching in my head a little bit as I go here.
I'm so gone, no, I'm never turning back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
Oi.
Feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
How many more you have left, Mark, of your proxies? I think that's just the song. Can digital songs even skip at all? Isn't that a CD thing? Oh, wow.
Taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new
Hey, JC.
electronic, blow the sonic.
How we doing?
I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the new song. You cannot save me, 'cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing. All here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me. I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough as.
I'm okay. Oh yeah, what? Something happened with your lower back?
I'm back, you know that I never left. I got tracks and some music that you never guessed. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, 'cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, 'cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing. All here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me. I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough as. Don't wanna test your luck with me. I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough as me. Don't wanna test your luck with me. I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad.
Sorry, Dro Blower. I didn't notice earlier. Not really. A little bit of digital painting, but I'm not really a painter. How about you? Are you a painter? Did something happen? Like, was it like a workout mishap or? Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Dribbler. So sorry, I'm not a painter.
A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love.
Imply some stripes on her genie tail. Don't be super bold when I ink the. Tattoos.
I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make
I got some like Persian tattoo reference off in the distance there, but I'm mostly making these tattoos up. There's a paisley looking thing here in this one point. Wait a minute, did it sneak in? Is this the song? No, it's not. Never mind.
Don't wanna sleep in, 'cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make
I have not gotten it yet, but I have. I think I found an artist. I just need a book. He mentioned, because I would most likely have to do it on a weekend. He mentioned he wouldn't have weekends free till December, and I think with different commitments I have in December, and then going to visit my parents for a bit, I might have to push it till January. But we've been talking, and I'm pretty sure it will probably be happening. I gotta make some modifications to. He suggested a couple modifications to my design, just to make it kind of look a bit better on my skin. And I'm gonna do those and then send them off to him, and then we'll probably try to hopefully book something. Maybe. I don't think it was gonna be much of a reveal. I'm just gonna be like, look! Do you have any tattoos, JC? I can't remember. I don't think you do you? Do you see it in your future? Are you hoping to get one at some point? Okay. Do you have something in mind, or you just know you want to get one? I had one friend, I swear she gets a new tattoo every week. They're all cool, though. Mostly art-themed. Give her one of these things. All right, I think we can ink her, guys. So that's actually what we're gonna get. I think that's a good idea, actually. But I think instead of your forearm, you should put it on your forehead. I think you should really go all in on it. Oops. Put that there. Toss that there. None of that landed where it was supposed to, but don't worry about it. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, commitment. Okay.
So mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My rap, my blood boils.
Some of these Sicko punk songs sound a little bit more rappy, don't you think?
You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can take.
Funk is the new wave.
I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad.
Funk is the cool word.
And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any.
Wing that a little bit.
Heating up inside of me, blood so violently, thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.
JC, ever watch reruns of I Dream of Genie?
Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad.
Well, your childhood was poorer for it. Look up I Dream of Genie and you'll see what I mean.
And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
But did you just look it up and now understand? 14-year-old Dylan, big fan of I Dream of Genie. She did not look at all like this genie though. Was definitely a fan of the Robin Williams Genie as well. They are the two top genies in my book. Black lipstick. I can't remember if I might have mentioned this in the stream before or not, but there was one impression that Robin Williams does as the genie. I never knew what it was until recently. I finally figured out the the impression gap that I couldn't quite get when he's giving the rules to Aladdin, and he's like, "Master, there are a few revisions, provisos, if you will." And I had no idea who that was. Like, I was like, parents are big movie people, so like I could name pretty much every actor that he did. The only other one that I maybe didn't know at the time was Ed Sullivan, when it was like, direct here, direct from the limp, your very own wish fulfillment. And then either my parents told me that or I eventually figured it out, maybe from Pulp Fiction, because there's a Ed Sullivan impersonator with a really big shoe for you tonight. Mia Wallace and Vincent Vega and Jack Rabbit Slim's Twist Contest. And so the guy, the provisor guys, it's Buckley, is it William F. Buckley, something like that? I can't remember. He had a TV show, and I saw an interview. He was this like super conservative guy that was known for always using like a really hefty vocabulary. And I saw him talk. He had the buck teeth, just like in the movie. I was like, mine was blown. He has all of them. He's got Peter Lorre, when he's like, he can't bring people back from the dead. It's not a pretty picture. Don't like doing it. He did Rodney Dangerfield, and he's like, I can't believe this. I'm losing to a rug. He does Jack Nicholson, where he's like, alright, you seem like a nice kid, so I'm gonna help you out. You wanna know the way to a woman's heart? You gotta be a straight shooter. Alright, Sparky, you got it. What else is he doing there? Oh, he does Joan Rivers during the Prince Ali song. He's like, don't they look lovely, Joan? Fabulous, Harry. I love the feathers. I remember in the third Aladdin movie, he just randomly suddenly turns into Pumbaa from Lion King and says Hakuna Matata, and then he just snaps back to Genie, and he's like, oh, I just had out of movie experience. What part confused you? The provisos one? JC is demanding some of you say hi, by the way. Okay. When he finishes his "Friend Like Me" song, and he's got the neon applause light, and I remember my parents thinking that was hilarious, and I didn't really get that one because it kind of just seemed stupid, and then I realized that the applause light is an actual thing, which makes it funnier. I've met tapings for game shows and stuff. It's bugging me. I'm trying to think. He does a lot of them, but I feel like I'm missing some as I'm talking about it. Oh, no worries. Is she finished? She was supposed to show me. Parker, you're here. How you doing, Parker? Nice, nice. How's the trip altogether? Well, not deliberately. I mean, it wouldn't be me dropping frames, I don't think. I think it'd be, if anything, it might be a network thing. Nice. Well, I mean, I don't have OBS right in front of me. Anybody ever see the seventh voyage of Sinbad? From like, what was it, like 1954 or something? There's a genie kid in that. But instead of rubbing the lamp, you have to recite, "From the land beyond, beyond, from a time past hope and fear, I bid you, genie, now appear." Welcome, Abby. Abby, do you know Seventh Voyage of Sinbad and the genie kid I'm talking about? Classic film buff yourself. Thought you might have. There's also an episode of Darkwing Duck that used that same chant or rhyme or whatever you want to call it. But I think the genie himself recites it in that case. From the land beyond, beyond. Well, storyboarding actually it's one of the it's one of the animatic options in storyboarding, but the genie scene isn't one of them. And I show the trailer for it in that class, but I don't even think the genie appears in the trailer unless I'm just not remembering. If he does, it's super brief. I don't think they really talk about it too much. The trailer definitely shows the princess inside the genie's lamp, though. That does happen. What made you suddenly think of that, Parker? Is that because you didn't like Will's genie portrayal, Abby, or is it because Will is now dead to you after what he did to Chris? Fair enough. I mean, I don't really disagree, but my expectations were so low, it was better than I was expecting, but I also agree. I kind of thought Jasmine was the only really good part in it, because they kind of like gave her more to do. And the actress playing her was good in it. But I didn't actually think Aladdin himself was particularly interesting, and most of the other stuff was either just like a watered down version of what we've already gotten, or just wasn't that great. But maybe this this punk rock genie can redeem genies. Well, yeah, definitely compared to. Yeah, it never should have been. You know what? Okay, I haven't really been too impressed with many of the live action remakes, but when they announced it was Guy Ritchie, I was kind of excited, only because Ritchie mostly does crime movies and Aladdin's a thief. And I thought, okay, if they let Ritchie go full to Guy Ritchie on this and they turn it into um, like a heist type thing, then this could actually be really interesting and fun and different enough from the cartoon that you don't compare the two, right? But they didn't do that. Not shockingly, I knew it was a long shot, but there was a pang of excitement from the possibilities there. Yeah, very much. And I don't think that those directors are really getting a whole hell of a lot of creative input into what they do. I think it's because they know that people are going to be automatically skeptical at the notion of remaking a classic. So they want to be like, well, look who's directing. I think the best one they've done so far is Cinderella. And I think, one, maybe because it was the first and they weren't necessarily expecting it to be huge, so maybe they weren't as hands-on. And let kind of Kenneth Branagh do his thing. But I also just think that because it's such that one's so much older that it kind of needed an update. So it wasn't like a direct remake. It was just sort of like a new Cinderella. Did Guy Ritchie do that Robin Hood one? He did King Arthur. And King Arthur, I didn't think King Arthur was great, but I didn't think it was terrible. I was so hyped as being so bad. And I didn't think it was like I watched it as a drawing show because my expectations were so low, but I was actually kind of into it. It definitely wasn't amazing, but I didn't think it was bad. But that Robin Hood one you're mentioning, I don't think that was Guy Ritchie, but I think that might have been somebody of note, but I'm not remembering who. The one that had Jamie Foxx and what's his face from Kingsman. I never saw it, and I don't think it did very well. It didn't look that good. They were kind of basically trying to make Robin Hood a superhero. He had like a secret identity and everything. So who did direct that Robin Hood one? The Kevin Costner one is really fun. I was really disappointed in the Russell Crowe one. They basically took all the fun out of it. It wasn't even an adventure story anymore, and it was like, why are we even doing Robin Hood then? They were like, let's figure out everything that people love about the Robin Hood story and get rid of it. Wait, Leonardo DiCaprio produced the Jamie Foxx Robin Hood, or are you talking about the Ridley Scott one? But yeah, I think I mean, Ridley Scott has done fun-ish. Well, I guess maybe not. I don't know, because like I love Alien, but I guess it's a stretch to call it fun, really. Huh. Why the hell would Leo do such a thing? I wonder if that's one of those cases where Leo was actually supposed to star in it like 10 years ago and it was just in development hell, and then it finally, by the time it finally started to move, he didn't want to do it anymore. But he was still kind of linked to it. There's been a few of those over the years. But it was supposed to be a bad title. That was the whole point for Men in Tights. Robin Hood Men in Tights is one of the best adaptations they've ever done of that story, I think. My name's Little John. But don't let my name fool you. In real life, I'm actually quite big. Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about Mel Brooks earlier. I just randomly started singing the Blazing Saddles theme song to myself earlier. Something made me think of it. I heard about that. It's the what's it called? It's like a kung fu. Was it cat fu or something? What the fuck was it called? Or Paws of Fury? I think that's what it was, right? I actually heard a criticism of that one. They're like, who's this movie for? Kids aren't going to get these Blazing Saddles references. But it's like, a kid doesn't need to know that it's a reference. Like, to a kid, it's a brand new joke and it's funny. Like, it's only a reference to the people that happen to know. Okay. Have you seen that, Parker? It wasn't one I was going to go to the theaters for, but I'll usually give any of the animated ones a shot. Did I tell you guys that I tried to watch Marmaduke, and even as a drawing show, I couldn't sit through it? Like, I am a completist, and it's very rare that I'll turn a movie off, even if I'm not liking it. And even more so if it's a drawing show, because I'm not even giving it my full attention anyway. That is how bad Marmaduke was. Everything about it too. The animation was all jerky and awkward, and weird. Yeah. Is Karate Dog a different one, or is Chevy Chase in Paws of Fury? Really? But you got Hocus Pocus. You came to Hocus Pocus late though, right, Parker? I actually liked Hocus Pocus 2 quite a bit. I thought in some ways it was better than the original one, honestly. Because the kid actors in the original one, I don't think they've necessarily aged the best. Not really the acting so much, but just like what the script has them doing. And like the witches themselves are great, but that might be some nostalgia kicking in though, because like I said, I grew up with it. I don't think you did. Okay, I don't think I heard Karate Dog, or maybe I did. I can't remember. Hocus Pocus 1 is better than Hocus Pocus 2, I think, overall, because the main charm of the whole concept is the fish out of water stuff. And our world has changed a lot since 1993, but not enough to get the same kind of gags that you did in that first one, where they've been like dead for hundreds of years. So the pharmacy scene was really good for that, but outside of that, not as much. When the witches first come back and they start singing, though, that was almost a turn off for me. But then they kind of saved it, I thought, where it kind of was all trick or whatever. And there's definitely moments where you can tell they're just trying to repeat beats from that original one, which is also a strike against it. But I enjoyed it enough. Okay. Star Kid. Is that the one with the kid from Jurassic Park where he gets the alien suit? I never watched that, but I remember I wanted to see it as a kid, and I just never did. By the way, Parker, totally valid if you didn't like Hocus Pocus 2. I'm not scolding you here. I'm just giving my opinion on it, to be clear. And I think there's probably many people that agree with you on that one as well. Right. And so that was an abomination. I'm not that shocked, to be honest. I've since seen clips of it, and it did not look great. But as a kid, I was like, oh, that looks like the most amazing thing ever. I am remembering right though, Parker, that you didn't come to the original one until more recently, right? Or am I getting that mixed up?
I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame. Yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap. Only got one, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad.
I think it is guilty of that for sure. And I won't even deny that. But I still thought it was enjoyable anyway. For me. Although on a second viewing, with the hype element removed, a bit more critical of it. But I definitely liked the kids in the new one more than the original one. And again, not so much the actors, just the writing for the kids. What'd you think of that? I haven't watched that one yet. I kind of the impression I got even from the trailer, honestly, was exactly what you just described Hocus Pocus as. It kind of just, it looked like it didn't feel like anybody's heart was in it, is the vibe I got. But I will give it a chance. Okay. Like I said, I haven't heard great things about it. But I only know one other person that's seen it either, so I guess what I've heard isn't really super valid. I now know 2 people that have seen it, but I don't know what your opinion is, so.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe. There's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that.
I mean, it makes sense, right? They had a whole generation of that on DVD and VHS. Oh, I just noticed you already referenced that, so yeah. That makes sense. I think that's the weird thing about streaming, because it makes sense that something like, because Hocus Pocus, the first one, didn't even do that well. But it has all this nostalgia. It became a cult classic, right? And so there's obviously an audience for it, but it's maybe not necessarily an audience to justify a theatrical release. So it makes sense that they would do stuff like that directly to streaming, since like DVDs and stuff aren't what they used to be as far as sales. But then on the other side of it, you have like serious premium content that also comes to streaming. There used to be a time if something went straight to video, straight to DVD, you pretty much knew it sucked. Or at the very least wasn't going to be great. But now just the way like indie distribution and marketing and stuff works, it's like you don't really know anymore. So you kind of have to roll the dice, and it's a bit of a gamble.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me.
Not all the DVD sequels sucked, but it's definitely a slightly tougher one. I remember, I haven't seen them probably since they were new, but I remember being really disappointed with the first Aladdin sequel, but liking the second one, King of Thieves.
To appreciate all that is vacant, it's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement. Yeah, there's no replacement for persistence. It's a patience. Yeah, in this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring, and I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.
Yeah, but it was, well, I mean, it was always sold as a straight-to-video thing. But it was the first one that they ever did, though, too, of the straight-to-DVD ones, so straight-to-video ones. So I don't think anybody knew what to expect either. But like, I know it was kind of what kicked it off. But I've heard some say it was actually the pilot, but I don't think it really was. Like, I don't think they ever aired it as like a 3-part episode or anything, did they? I think it was always released as the, yeah, I think because of the first one, I think that's why it was misleading, because we hadn't seen that before, so we're just like, oh, it's just, we love the first one, and now there's a sequel.
I'm inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth, I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first, I'll write a second, third verse, about the lies you go disperse, you never did shit, I know it.
And my shin is super itchy, it's like, I don't know if it's the cold air that makes it dry, or if it's the furnace being on that makes it dry, but I feel like this time of year I'm always scratching the shit out of my my lower legs for some reason. And now the world knows. I don't know why I felt like I needed to share that, but now you know. Yeah. But the straight to video thing should have been our clue, but I don't blame myself though. I was probably like maybe 10. What year did that one come out?
Gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah. Push and pull and repel any hate, go create what you want, feel compelled, yeah. And once you finally get a taste of the race, you'll never look back once you felt that. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first.
94? Okay, so yeah, it would have been 10. And that would make sense because the first one I think was 92. Holy shit.
Yo, I think about others way before myself, yeah. I guess that's why I feel like I go through hell, damn.
Well, thinking about it, it's actually kind of weird they haven't done any kind of promotional thing for that. Even though they're just releasing a video to try to get people to watch it on.
Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first.
I heard. The one thing I'll say with that, because I think they made it clear it's not going to be an adaptation of Return of Jafar, right? So the one thing I'll say, I mean, I'll be very, I won't pay to see it, but if they go completely original story with it, maybe maybe it's better, just in that we're not comparing it to the original. It's just like completely its own thing. I don't know. We're also getting a Mufasa prequel for Lion King as well. Yeah.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling.
What is that to in reference to, Parker? Sorry, was that when I said we won't have to compare it to the original one? Oh, Mufasa, right. And the same thing, I suppose, goes for that, in that we won't compare, but I'm still like, the fact that the remake 2018, 2019, whatever it was like a shot-for-shot rehash was like only part of the problem.
I'll
Speaking of Lion King, it reminds me of a funny story. I might have told this on the stream before, I can't remember. But when the Lion King remake was in theaters, I saw it with my mom. And I went over there for the weekend, and we watched that, and then we went to this family friend's Christmas in July party. And there was a guy who my parents knew, but I didn't know. And he had a kid that was only maybe like 1 or 2, probably 2 or 3 actually. Now that I think about it, considering the topic. And my mom told him that we just saw Lion King and asked if he was going to bring the kid to go see that. And they had just seen some whatever other animated one was out at the time. And the guy was like, "Oh, you know what? I actually just took him to see this other movie, you know, it's like that new kind of animation. I think they call it a Pixar." And I was just like, oh my god. And I just thought it was funny he referred to it as that new kind of animation. And I was like, Pixar has been a big deal for, at this point, like, over 20 years. And I don't judge them for not knowing a lot about it, because not everyone's as into it like we are. But I just felt like, how tone deaf do you have to be to? You only just learned this was a thing recently, that it's so new. Mufasa has a chance only because it's an original story, I think. But like, I think that the live action, like they're the animated but made to look live action approach is like it. I felt like the performances were so limiting and stuff. Like it was, I never felt like I could connect with any of the characters because they leaned so much into the realism that it was like, even though the animals are talking, they're not emoting or anything. They're not expressive at all. Yeah, exactly. With the Nintendo comment. Think about Lion King. I'm just remembering too that they did that side-by-side comparison of when Simba is seeing the wildebeest stampede approach with the the live-action version versus the animated version. The animated version was just so much more dramatic. Okay. It was a deliberate creative choice, but I don't think it was a smart creative choice. I see what you did there with Pride. I have a theory about Lion King. I kind of wondered if directing Lion King was part of Favreau's deal to do Mandalorian. I have no idea if that's true, but I look at it because he did Lion King, and Lion King was a huge hit. And they want to take a similar approach with this because it was like it's going to be primarily CG animals that need to appear like they're live action. And so I kind of just felt like his heart wasn't really in it. But they were going to let him do Mando if he did Lion King. That was kind of part of my theory there. Not that he didn't already have enough clout, but I don't know. I feel like it would make sense to me, but like I said, I'm pulling that entirely out of my ass. I have no actual idea.
chase like that. Yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise, you can hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'ma ride or die for my dreams on tap. I'ma fly real high, you ain't see me slack. No, it's not how you fall, it's how you get right back up. This how you get tough. Calluses on my hands so rough, yeah, I call your bluff. I'm not the one, mess with me and come down with none. Cause I'm so done, you had your fun. And now you gonna face down the barrel of the gun. Cause I got a full clip with your name on it. But I'ma let you slide cause you ain't worth it. Time staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. Time staying strong.
The possible deal I was just referring to, or just the idea of making it at all?
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, I'm tired of my
Hey, Mark. Other Mark.
forget what it's like to be
Yes.
stabbed in the back bed. I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action.
Which, you know what annoys me about that, Parker, is like the movie. Okay, it annoyed me on principle, especially as an animator myself, how many people insisted on referring to it as a live action movie, even though there wasn't any fucking live action in the entire movie. But then it's like Disney's trying to pitch it and sell it as this live action movie. But then when it becomes the highest grossing animated movie of all time, they're willing to admit it's animated so they can brag about their fucking win there. You know, just like pick a lane, first of all, and second of all, it's an animated goddamn movie. Let's all admit it. I don't care how realistic it's rendered. I actually, because I have a lot of movie shows and stuff on YouTube I listen to in the background when I'm working, and I actually heard people arguing over whether or not it's live action or animated, and they were talking about like, should it be considered for, like, saying that it shouldn't be considered for animated feature at the Oscars, and like, first of all, no, it shouldn't because it sucked, but like, if it's gonna be nominated, like yes, it is an animated movie, and if you try to argue that, you're just shitting on all the work of the people that worked on it. Which I dislike the movie. Like, the visuals of it are well done. I don't like the creative choice to have them not emote anything, but I can't deny that it's like well made. Otherwise, it's just just no, or technically well made, just no, not creatively well made. No, I get it, but I mean, I get it, I guess, sort of from the Disney standpoint, but the reaction of people then arguing about whether or not it's, like, people insisting it wasn't animated, and it's like, well, it very clearly was. And it's such a stupid argument, too, because even if you know nothing about animation, you should at least know that lions don't fucking talk. That's true. Cats do speak. We don't need CG to make our cats speak. Or our pigs, in hindsight. Jellicle? What the fuck? I wonder what the actual general consensus of audiences was with that movie, because I feel like, you know, family movies that come out at the right time with the right marketing are can be almost guaranteed success sometimes. And then you got the nostalgia of it, and then some people bring in their kids, and there was like a whole like kind of trend of people bringing their parents to see it because their parents had taken them to see it when they were a kid. And so like it probably did well for all those reasons, but I wonder how many of those people came out of it satisfied. Probably not everybody as critical as we maybe were, because not everyone cares enough to even give it that much thought, right? And my mom liked it a lot, but she also didn't remember the original one well enough to realize what a like knockoff it was. And I know she really liked the original one when she saw it, but she probably hadn't seen it since I was like 10 or whatever age it was. from that same year, Parker? For some reason, Abby, because I keep forgetting to look into it, chat is censored on my phone app. So I don't know what you're saying there. I'm assuming you're saying something negative about Cats. I've never seen it, but I've heard nothing but horrible things. Here's a funny thing about Cats. So Cats came out at, it was either the end of 2019 or the beginning of 2020, right? And just noticed I kind of messed something up there, but it's okay. At Metrotown, they had the giant screens out, or posters they put up, and because everything shut down in 2020, that Cats poster was up there for I think almost 2 years, because nothing new was coming out, so they didn't replace the poster, so they just had the Cats poster there for the longest fucking time. Are the nominations pissing you off because they shouldn't have been nominated, or pissing you off because they lost to Lion King and other things? Well, my weekend's planned. I've never seen the Country Bears, I don't think. Was that their first one based on a theme park ride? Because I feel like at the time, I don't think I realized it was a theme park ride. And then Pirates came out, and I knew that one was. Or actually, I guess Haunted Mansion? Was Haunted Mansion before or after Pirates? Oh, really? That's kind of great. Well, were those nominations, did they even exist in the 94 movie? But I agree that it is ridiculous because it's like he literally plays the same role twice, and you don't give him an award till the second one. Not even the same role, like the exact same dialogue, pretty much. Yeah, no kidding. How old is he now? He's in his 80s, I think, now, right? Oh, shit. Wow. Good night, Abby. Thanks for stopping by. With my little dots, I realize how much like this almost could be one of my mermaids. Yeah, Mergenie, Genie made. I don't know. All right, we'll throw a signature on here, and we'll raid somebody. Call it a night. All right, there is my punk rock Genie. And yeah. So thanks for watching, everybody. Be back at the usual times next week. Got a big one planned for Tuesday, an elaborate one. But let's find somebody to raid. So stick around to give somebody a boost here and their fellow artist. If you can't stay too late, I get it. I probably won't myself either. But let's see who's live here. Well, actually, you know what? My friend Brad's streaming. He'll be streaming a game, not art. But you know what? Let's give Brad a raid. This is BC Bot Killer. Oh, I typed something in wrong. Give me a sec here. What did I do? Oh, 007. I forgot the 007. How could I forget the 007? That creepy clown is by Tim Burton, by the way. It's signed by him too. All right, here we go. Raid.